Hey, welcome back. So, it's been a week since I started using the new iPhone 17, and I've really had the chance to test it in my daily life. From the stability of the operating system, to the new display, cameras, and battery. In this video, I'll share how it's been performing, what I liked, and what I didn't. Spoiler, I liked it a lot. So if you're thinking about buying it or you're still unsure, I hope this review helps you out. Visually, I really like it a lot. It's quite slim and compact in size, which makes it comfortable and easy to hold. Even in your pocket when you're out and about, it doesn't feel annoying. That's also thanks to the weight. Coming from an iPhone 16 Pro, I found it lighter and definitely easier to use. If you're wondering why I didn't choose the Pro version, I'll make a dedicated video about that, so remember to hit the follow button. As for the color, I went with the black variant this time, and I think it looks really elegant. I especially love this color on my devices, though it's not a deep black like the camera island. It's more toned down and softer, while the frame has a darker gray finish. Speaking of the frame, it actually provides a good grip. You can feel it's harder to slip out of your hands, which is different from the back. The back, despite having a texture that's somewhere between smooth and matte, still tends to be a bit slippery. That's why I bought a case. It gives a better grip and of course more protection. I especially like how it wraps around the cameras with a raised edge that helps prevent scratches and keeps the phone stable when placed on a surface. But the thing I loved the most about this iPhone is the new display. Just a quick reminder, I already made a video covering all the new features of this model. You'll find the link at the end of the video. Here, the display has gone from 6.1 inches on the iPhone 16 to 6.3 inches on the iPhone 17. On paper, it looks like a small change, but in reality you really notice it. The viewing area feels larger and lets you immerse yourself more in the content. The best part is that the overall size of the phone hasn't really changed compared to previous models, so it doesn't feel any less comfortable to use. Another major upgrade I really appreciated is the introduction of promotion, which brings the refresh rate up to 120 Hz. This makes animations much smoother and more responsive. Maybe someone less experienced might not notice the difference, but if you use these devices a lot, you'll pick up on it right away, especially if you're coming from a 60 Hz display, like on my iPhone 15. And over this past week, the display has been performing amazingly. Smooth, responsive, and with the new iOS 26 update, plus the liquid glass design. Watching those glass-like animations is a real treat. The way animations glide and float on the screen is just beautiful. And you can really see Apple's effort to make the lineup feel even more premium. I also tested the peak brightness, which reaches 3000 nits, a new feature for all iPhone 17 models. Honestly, it didn't blow me away. It felt pretty similar to my iPhone 16 Pro, which maxes out at 2000 nits. Maybe there's a slight improvement. In any case, the colors are vivid and, combined with HDR, videos and images look absolutely stunning. As for anti-reflection and glass durability, I think those are technically hard to improve much. After all, it's still glass, so some reflections are unavoidable. Personally, I haven't noticed major changes, and to be honest, I'm always a bit worried about damaging it. That's why, like most of you, I've applied a screen protector which, let's be real, kind of ruins years of Apple's research and development to improve quality. But it's worth it for the peace of mind. So let's move on to performance and the promises Apple made with the new A19 processor. They really did a great job here. Performance is top-notch, and this phone doesn't skip a beat. It handles all the apps we use daily without any problems: social media, messaging, calls, all the usual stuff. Of course, with every new update, there are some little quirks to fix. I did notice a few random slowdowns, something I never experienced on iOS 18. Still, I'm sure upcoming updates will iron everything out and unlock even more potential. What really surprised me in a good way is how well it manages heat. Even though Apple didn't specifically announce improvements here, you can feel the processor optimizes energy much better. Even during intensive use, like the cameras or gaming, I didn't notice any overheating. With a case on, I barely noticed anything, and even without one, I only felt a little warmth near the top by the camera. That's not only more comfortable to the touch, but also important because less heat means less wear on internal components and helps keep the battery healthier over time. Of course, these are just first impressions after a few days of use. With more time, we'll see what the iPhone 17 is really capable of. Now let's talk cameras. The main one hasn't changed, so I won't spend too much time on it. I'll just say the quality is still excellent, both for photos and videos. The real upgrade is with the ultra-wide camera, now at 48 megapixels. For me, that's a big step up. It captures a lot more detail with sharper, brighter shots. I find the photos look more appealing overall, which makes this lens more worthwhile to use. But the biggest surprise came from the front camera. I was impressed because it shows how much Apple is paying attention to today's needs, where we use the front camera more than ever for selfies, photos with family and friends, or even work, thinking about content creators. The wider field of view makes it easier to take group shots, and in my opinion, that alone could justify upgrading if you use it often. On top of that, the quality is fantastic. It's an 18 megapixel sensor that delivers really beautiful shots. Fun fact, just compare the tiny size of the front lens with the rear ones and you'll realize how much tech Apple has crammed into this little circle. Moving on to the battery, I wasn't disappointed at all. In fact, I loved the new fast charging boost. Apple claims that with a charger over 40 watt, you can hit 50% in 20 minutes. Of course, I tested it and even made a short video about it, so remember to follow me so you don't miss it. In my case, it went from 1% to 50% in under 20 minutes, reached 80% in about 40 minutes, and fully charged in just over an hour. Honestly, that's a really solid result. I appreciated this speed so much because I realized over these days that you only need a short charging session to get a decent amount of battery life. As for overall battery life, I'm really satisfied so far. It easily lasts a full day with over 8 hours of screen on time, and with regular use, it's not hard to make it into a second day. Sure, this is still a brand new battery, but the combination of a more efficient processor and faster charging definitely makes running low on power less stressful. The only question mark I have is about long-term use. Pushing fast charging this hard could cause the battery to wear out faster, but only time will tell. So these are my main takeaways after a week of use, and I have to say I'm really happy with how the iPhone 17 standard performed. Not just for the features we've covered, but also for how solid it is in data reception, GPS, and audio, things I already talked about in a previous video. All of these aspects were very good with no major issues. So if you're asking me whether I recommend this phone, my answer is definitely yes. I think it's a well-rounded device with strong features, and to me, it might just be the best value for money option in the iPhone 17 lineup. And in the next video, I'll explain why I think so. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a free like. See you next time.